Let's continue with the landmarks and proportions of the thorax. As you can see, this is a map with our volume that we have in the thorax. That don't mean the volumes here are caused by the muscles, but that can be caused by a bunch of muscles and bones. You have the volumes here of the chest, the shoulder, the arms, the abdomen parts. As you can see, we have like an arrow here. We have a flattening area here. We have the trapezial here, flattening area here. This is created by the rhomboid muscle. Here are the shapes of the both arms and shoulder. We have these big volumes here. We have another volume here. It's caused by a bunch of muscles that I will explain to you in the next steps. And have the volumes here. The sacral volume, it's a flattened area here. And the muscles of the butt. The muscles of the butt have a kind of butterfly wings format. So let's see these volumes with more detail. This is a course for the module that I bought to learn about anatomy. It's very helpful to learn about anatomy, and I recommend acquire one of these course 3D modules that are available for sale to help you learn about anatomy. Let's talk about the chest muscles. We have two main muscles in the chest. We have the pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. And as you can see, the size of this muscle, you cover the ribs 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and a little bit of the 6. So we can get this muscle from the rib 1 to almost the rib 6 or rib 6. The form of this muscle, it's kind of a pentagon, and this muscle, the pectoralis major, go over of the pectoralis minor. And why this muscle is important to us? Because the pectoralis minor, you create a division here on the shape and volume of our chest. This is our six-pack format. We can see the first pack starting to open here, and after the two-pack starting to close, creating this format almost kind of a diamond format here. The size of the six-pack can be divided and per size. The first one is the smaller one, the middle one is the larger one, and the last one, it's the medium one. The pectoralis major is divided on 3 sections, as we can see here. But an important thing that we need to consider, it's the orientation and where these sections are linked to the arm. The bottom part, you go under of the other parts and link it in this point here. The middle one will be linked here, and the top section will be linked here. So you have a cross section here of muscles. This is interesting when you're modeling a character or a statue in a pose. So we need to rotate this volume here. Now we have the oblique muscle. It's that volume here. The oblique muscle is linked to the eyelid crest and go to the under of the chest muscle, but we just can see this part. And as you can see here, this muscle have these directions. When we are modeling, you can notice that I am modeling using these directions here to create the fibers of the muscle using clay tubs. And a more closer view of our oblique muscle, we can see our oblique muscle and in this muscle here that looks like a saw. The name of this muscle here is serratus muscle. And as you can see, serratus means saw in Latin. So because it is formed, this muscle have this name. Okay, notice we have 4 volumes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The latissimus dorsi is this muscle here, and this muscle go to the back of our character here. And link on the end of our sacrum. As you can see here, sometimes in some person we can see the volume of some ribs. In this crochet we can see the end of the rib here. It's not in everyone that we can see the ribs volume, but it's a cool detail that we can add to our characters. Now let's talk a little bit about the shoulder muscle. The shoulder muscle, it's linked coming from the clavicle here and linking into the arm here. It's almost the same position of the nipple. And some people are higher and other people are lower. This is a close view of our shoulder muscle. This is the format of our shoulder muscle. This is the clavicle where the muscle is linked, but the shoulder muscle is linked to the shoulder blade as well. You can see this area here. It's an important area because in this area it's a flattened area where we don't have any muscle here. So when we are modeling, we can see the trapezium here. We have a little gap here, and just after this gap the shoulder muscle starts. This is the latissimus dorsi. It's a big muscle coming from the side part of the body and going to the back. This white part here is the tendon of this muscle. And as you can see here, this is very important. Some people, when they are trying to create a card and is strong, they create the rib box with this width. But the wider part of the thorax is not created by the rib box, but by the latissimus dorsi. As you can see, this is the silhouette of this Equarch 3D model. Here, it's the rib cage format, and this red area is the latissimus dorsi, creating the wider part of the thorax. So when we're modeling, take care to not create the ribby box larger to create this silhouette, because in the truth the silhouette in the wider part is created by the latissimus dorsi. This is the latissimus dorsi closer in the front view, and we can see the latissimus dorsi coming from the back and passing on the bottom of the arm and go to under of the chest muscle and rook into the arm. This is the rhomboid, it's the flattening area here. We can see the rhomboid here. Rhomboid is this muscle here. Rhomboid is under of the trapezium. This is the top trapezium. And this is the bottom trapezium. But this shape area here is created by the rhomboid. This is a top view of this recursion model. And the important volume that we need to create is this M format here, where this red line here, it's the volume of the shoulder blades, and this green one, it's created by the rhomboid. When we are blocking our thorax, we need to create this volume here. If we started to create the muscles in the flat shape, we are just add muscles, but without creating this volume. This is the trapezium. This is the top part of the trapezium and the bottom part of the trapezium. Both top and bottom part of the trapezium are linked to the shoulder blade. The white part here is the tendon of the trapezium, and as you can see, this is the C7 volume. If we go to here, we can see the trapezium in the front view, have an arch here, but at this point, the curvature of the trapezium changed to the another side. This is the inclination change in the back view. Now let's talk about the muscles of the neck. We already talked about these muscles in the chapter about the head, but as you noticed in the head chapter, I just create a sketch of the neck, but right now we need to modeling for truth. We will not create a sketch. So to remember about these muscles, this is the trapezium here. As you can see, the trapezium starts on the base of the drape, coming from the back and linking to the clavicle. A good point of reference is this triangle here, so it's linked in the same direction. This is the omohyoid. This muscle don't appear too much, but you can add a small volume for this muscle in the neck. So sternohyoid and sternothyroid are there. This can be created as a unique volume. And the most iconic muscle of the neck, sternocleidomastoid. And as you can see here, the two linked parts to the clavicle. This is the scapula muscles. This is the infrapinatus. It's linked to the scapula and the scapular spine. The scapular spine is this part of the scapula here. So, in the bottom, you have the teres major, and between the teres major and infraspinatus, you have the teres minor. Some people we can represent this volume with a unique volume, or if you want to create a character with less percentage of fat, we can create the division between these muscles. This is the muscles of the butt, as you can saw before. This is the iliac crest here. So the muscle of the butt coming from the iliac crest is linked to the great trochanter here. And the gluteus maximus and the medius come from the iliac crest and link to the great trochanter. And in the front view, we have the tensor of fasciolates coming from the iliac crest, and on the hip bone front tip here, and linking to the great trochanter tube. So, to finish here, let's talk about the muscles of the back. This is the latissimus dorsi muscle, but under of the latissimus dorsi we have two muscles. We have the erector spine, this is blue color here, and the serratus posterior. This volume here in the back, it's caused by the erector spine, and we can see this volume created by the erector spinae here, painted with the red color. Therefore, we have the serratus posterior here in the back. This muscle is too thin and don't create a volume. So this volume here on the throat is created by the erector spinae. This is all about the proportion rules and landmarks on the thorax that I can teach it to you. Let's take a break and see you in the next video where you will start modeling the thorax. See you.
学习过程中还有疑问，可以立即